This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Big Bubba, who is, proud to be learning some things. You know what I mean? He's a proud man over there. He's learning right now. He's a proud man. And I'm proud of him for learning. Hold on for a minute, Isaiah, because you're not coming through. You're not coming. I can hear you, but they can't hear you. So let me go ahead and make sure that I get this right so that they can hear you as well. All right, because for whatever reason you're not coming through. So let me get this right. Put this here. I get this fixed, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, while I'm getting this fixed, last night was dope. Ladies and gentlemen, last night was dope as we was in Washington, D.C. with everybody, not everybody, but, with a lot of Knicks fans, and we was doing a thing. We had a good time. You know what I mean? Isaiah, do me a favor. Speak into the mic.
Hello?
There we go. I think they can hear you now.
They can hear me? If somebody can hear me, give me a thumbs up on the chat.
They can hear you now. It's going to be a 5-second delay, so it'll be a minute before you know whether or not they heard you. But I'm telling you right now, they can hear you.
Okay. All right.
I'm telling you right now, they can hear you. You're back in the building. Let's go.
Sam, you keep embarrassing me, Sam. I every time I tell you something to do, but what Sim's talking about, I'm just reading this book, y'all. My girlfriend bought it for me. We went to this Malcolm X event. Well, we went to the annual anniversary
of
the
screen. You're falling off the screen. You're falling off the screen. Stay
right
center.
here. I'm right here. Now, my girlfriend brought me this book. We went to the anniversary of Malcolm X assassination. It was a real dope event. I got to meet Malcolm X's daughter. Ben Camp was there. Angela Davis spoke. It was really dope experience and really dope. You learned a lot. Well, if you didn't know, you learned some little things about Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Sabaz, and it was really dope. And I got to take a picture with a Knick.
There you go.
Charles Smith was there.
There you go.
So I got to take a picture with Charles Smith. My girlfriend took the picture, so it was real dope. So I had a good time, man. I had a good time.
That's dope. That's dope. We had a good time last night in DC. We took over DC last night. You know what I'm saying? Knicks fans took over DC in the stadium and outside the stadium. They better had the Knicks. We better had won because I missed the Nas concert last night. You know what I mean?
He was in the Garden.
He was at the Garden.
Sold it out.
Whew. Sold it out. You know what I mean? And I see clips. I actually have a full version of it. I'm thinking about streaming it on the front stoop. You know what I mean?
Hey,
doing a little commentary of it and stuff like that. I got the full concert on video, so that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? And I spoke to the dude where I got the video from, and he said, "Yeah, it's cool. I could stream it." So,
okay.
And of course, it's his video. You know what I mean? It's not like it's official from Nas's camp. It's his video, but yeah. So I'm thinking about doing that with a little commentary. Maybe it'd be 3 or 4 of us just, listening and talking, making some comments. We'll throw some fan comments up on the screen and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it looked like it was a dope concert.
Have you ever seen Nas perform live?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Okay, cool.
Bunch of times. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the Nas concert. We're here to talk about the Knicks, right? And their game tonight versus the New Orleans Pelicans. The Knicks are now 37. The Knicks are 7 games above 500, ladies and gentlemen. The best mark of the season, they're 34-27 on the season. 7 games above 500. If they win tonight, they'll be 8 games above 500, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? And so I don't want to say it's a must win, but it's an important win. They can get this win tonight, because it helps them to further create separation between them and the Miami Heat, helps them gain some more ground on the Brooklyn Nets, helps them to gain some more ground on the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I mean? So it's an important game for the Knicks. And then it'll take them to be 8 games above 500. And also, if they win tonight, they'll be 2 games above 500 at the Garden. You know what I mean? So, they need to get this win. And you can't back up. You can't have Nas at the Garden one night and then the Knicks lose the next night. You can't do that. Dig? And it was an epic show, so you can't do that. They got to get this win. It's not a must win, but they got to get the win. I say that.
I'm with you, son. I feel like they have to get the win. Again, when you want to be a team to really make yourself established, if you want to get out of that play-in, you have to win. Especially after Nas performs, Nas selling at the Garden.
That's
you
what
have
I'm
to.
saying.
You know what I mean?
Saying.
I really do. It's going to be a tough one tonight just because of the back-to-back, but I know we're going to talk about it. But the Knicks, this to me, Sim, if you want to get past the Miami Heat and let the Nets worry about the Miami Heat, you got to win this game. Because if you get the 5th seed, you're in a way better spot, and you're in a prime position.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that bad of a back-to-back tonight, in my opinion. It shouldn't be that bad because, it wasn't that far of a travel to D.C., right?
No.
It's not that bad of a travel. And you're coming off of a, 7-day break or something like that. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't be too bad of a back-to-back. The game, it was a hard-fought win for the Knicks, but it wasn't like it went into double or triple overtime, and it wasn't one of those aggressively played defensive type of games. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Knicks should be fine, as far as the back-to-back is concerned. You know what I mean? I think they should be healthy. I don't think guys should be tired. I don't think their legs should be tired. I think they should be fine.
Yeah, I think they should be fine too. And I think players like I'm going to talk about it later. I think players like RJ and Brunson that didn't really. RJ had a decent game. Brunson had a bad game, so I feel like he's going to bounce back. So I think those two are going to be real big catalysts for us tonight. Or just going through, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you keep saying we're going to talk about it. We're talking about it. What you doing?
I mean,
We're talking about it right now. Just say what you got to say.
Well, I think tonight RJ is going to have a good game. I think he's primed for one. He needs one. He needs a game bad. Because yesterday I don't think he played bad. I think yesterday his defense was a lot better. There were a couple times he got beat, but it wasn't as bad as it was before. And then I think with the addition of Brunson, I think we're gonna have really good. I think Brunson's gonna play a lot better than he did yesterday. I think that was just the restlessness. He was a little probably rusty.
A little rusty. Yeah. Brunson had a rough night last night. Kind of, I think, at least shooting wise.
Yeah, I think he's gonna bounce back. I think it might be a little tough because of the defense of the Pelicans with Alvarado and Herb Jones and all those guys. But I do think they're gonna be fine. I think RJ. I think it's gonna be the RJ game because I think Randall's gonna be a little tired from last night, and I think those two got to step up to contribute to what Randall might be lacking tonight if he's a little tired from dropping a career high yesterday.
46 was a career high. I didn't even realize that.
He tied his career high.
Okay. And tonight is the anniversary, the 50th anniversary of the 1973 champions.
Oh, you can't lose that. You can't lose tonight.
The 50th anniversary of the 1973 champions. So you definitely can't lose in front of them, man. Not tonight. Tonight's not the night.
No. So you know what's crazy? I remember the last time they celebrated the anniversary. Man, Melo had a great game. I remember it was against the Bucks. He was out that 54-win team.
Mm-hmm. I
remember they had the anniversary where Phil Jackson and those guys came down. And They showed out because they won that game. So
Yeah,
you can't lose.
You
You
got to
can't
get
lose
this
at
win
the
tonight, man.
Nas. You can't lose at the Nas. And you can't lose after the 50th anniversary. You
That's
can't.
what I'm saying. You got to get this win tonight. Knicks got to get this win tonight. 7:30 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. Evan Fournier is questionable for tonight. He probably wasn't going to play anyway, but he's questionable for tonight. All right, Zion Williamson is out for the Pelicans.
Again.
You know, Dyson Daniels, I think, is questionable for tonight.
I like Dyson Daniels.
You know, so without Zion Williamson there, I mean, the Knicks, even if he was there, the Knicks just got to get this win. You know, they just got to do it. They got to get the win.
I mean, we've beaten the Pelicans with Zion on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've beaten them before, so it's not like, you know, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, Sim. You know what, man? 2 years ago, people wanted Zion, KD, and Kyrie.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
Listen, Sim, ain't that something? I mean, look, and
how
I feel
times
bad for
have changed.
Times, I feel bad for the kids, Sim. I do. But I mean, you talk about almost. I mean, you dodged the bullet with pretty much all three. In retrospect, like
no doubt that's the truth. Like definitely dodged the bullet with all three.
And it's crazy, Sim, because man, I remember. I still remember the day we went live when the Knicks didn't get them guys, and we ended up with the third pick, and it's just crazy, Sim. You know, the whole league clowning us like, you ain't get Zion, Kyrie.
Yeah, they'd rather go to Brooklyn, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know, man.
So look at this, man. Look at this. Knicks are climbing to the 5th seed, and the Nets, you know, it is what it is with them, and the Pelicans are in the play-in.
Yeah, no doubt.
Currently right now.
Well, currently right now. For the Knicks, starting tonight, Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. And for the New Orleans Pelicans, CJ McCollum, Josh Richardson, Herbert Jones, Brandon Ingram, and Jonas Valanciunas. All right, so those are your starting lineups for tonight, projected starting lineups for tonight. And, you know, listen, you know, with CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, they still got, and Valanciunas, they still got some threats over there. Right? So it's not like, you know, this is going to be an easy game. No, it's not going to be an easy game. They have talent on that basketball team. You know what I mean? CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, both of those guys can light it up at any time. And so can Valanciunas. You know what I mean? You know, his size, his ability to post up can give Mitchell Robinson some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what do you think about these matchups? Let's start with Jalen Brunson. Let's start with the point guard matchup. I don't know if Jalen Brunson is going to guard CJ McCollum. It's probably going to be Quentin Grimes, right? Starting out on CJ McCollum. But let's talk about these matchups here. Your thoughts? Yeah,
I agree with you, Sam. I think it's going to be Jalen Brunson on Josh Richardson and Quentin Grimes on CJ McCollum. But point guard wise, I mean, CJ McCollum, he's been balling. What he's having, like 23 points this season?
Something like that.
Yeah, no, Jalen Brunson's doing the same thing. So I think they're going to cancel each other out for the most part. CJ McCollum, great player. I think Jalen Brunson had a rusty game yesterday, so I think he's going to bounce back tonight. So I think that's going to be canceled out as far as scoring wise. Point guard wise, Jalen Brunson is going to beat him out, and he's going to handle his business, move the ball like he does.
9 assists last night for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, so I think so. Overall, advantage goes to the Knicks. I mean, to be honest with Jalen, Jalen Brunson's been an all-star this season.
I mean, CJ McCollum's been an all-star caliber player for a lot of seasons. I mean, he's averaging 21.2 points, 5.9 assists so far, you know, this season. He's shooting 43% from the field. He's shooting 38.8% from three. You know what I mean? So, you know, now Jalen Brunson, of course, you know, his numbers are just a tad bit better from the field, I think, than CJ McCollum. A tad bit. Not a whole lot, but a tad bit. Right? I think he's shooting a higher percentage from 2. Let me pull up Jalen Brunson real quick, just so I make sure I have his numbers correct. Jalen Brunson so far this season, 23.8 points per game and 6.2 assists. Jalen Brunson almost 24 points per game, ladies and gentlemen. He's shooting 48% from the field and 40% from 3. So yeah, his numbers are I don't even want to say a tad bit better. That's almost a lot better. He's almost at 24 points per game and shooting 48% from the field and 40% from 3. Those are great numbers. And 84% from the free throw line. So those are just magnificent numbers from Jalen Brunson. But still, C.J. McCollum can light it up. He can light it up. You know what I mean? And Quentin Grimes, who I think is going to guard C.J. McCollum, he's got to do his job today. He's got to be on it. You know what I mean? He's got to be on it. What are your thoughts there as we're talking about defensive matchups? Your thoughts on Quentin Grimes guarding C.J. McCollum. And then I'm thinking Jalen Brunson probably on Josh Richardson, right? Because Richardson is, about 11
really
points per game, not really a scorer. But your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Sim. I think Jalen's going to guard Josh. When it comes to Quentin Grimes, just has to continue doing what he's doing. Thought he played great defense on Bradley Beal last night. Bradley Beal, you didn't really hear his name that much, honestly, last night when playing the game. Bradley Beal, he wasn't really, the biggest X factor for them. So he played great defense. And he just has to do it again tonight. No, it doesn't get easy because when you're the starting shooting guard and you're probably our best perimeter defender.
I don't know about it anymore. I don't know if he's
on the starting five.
I don't know. Okay.
On the starting five.
I was going to say.
I think Quickly is our best. Quickly and Josh Hart are our best perimeter defenders.
Probably, right.
Yeah, no. So he has a tough assignment to go first. We know what C.J. McCollum can do in this league. It doesn't matter if he's like 6'2", 6'1". Guy's a baller. He can put the ball through the hoop. So it's going to be a tough matchup for him. So quickly, Grimes got his hands full tonight.
Yeah. No doubt he's got his hands full. I see JJ say Randall on Ingram. I don't know. Who else are you putting on him? Are you putting Barrett on Brandon Ingram? I'm not. We've been complaining about Brandon Ingram, R.J. Barrett's defense. You're not going to put him on Brandon Ingram. So who else you putting on Brandon Ingram? If Grimes is going to be on McCollum, it's got to be Julius Randle on Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, got to be.
Right? It's got to be.
Because you can't have RJ, man. You can't. Not right now. You have to guard Herb Jones.
You know what I mean?
His time.
Yeah. He's got to guard. Yeah, he's got to guard Herb Jones. You know what I mean? Tony, what's poppin' with you, my brother? How you feeling, man?
What's good, Sim? Isaiah, shout out to the chat. Your blackest time. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm still sad, bro. I missed the event, man. I was watching the streams and all that. It looked like a blast. It looked like a blast.
We had a good time.
It looked like a level up from the last one.
Yeah. We definitely had a good time, man. Knicks fans were showing out.
I wouldn't say level up. We were there. Calm down.
Huh? You wasn't there?
Well, me and Tony was at the last event, so I'm not going to say it was better than that. So we got to calm down about that.
You wasn't in D.C. the last time?
Oh. Yeah, you did have another. Oh, man, my bad.
Yeah, you wasn't. But
you lost, bro. Where you at?
And I missed the Nas concert, so I had an opportunity to do either one, and I missed them both. Stuck in the snowstorm out here, upstate New York. But I'm glad you had a great event, Sim. I definitely make the next one. And I encourage everybody who didn't make it, make the next one. Make the next one.
No doubt, because
we doing big things out there.
It was dope. We had a good time, man.
Shout out to Ebro and Queen too, and everybody else who attended. Last night's game, real quick. Last night's game. I just want to give Randall some props real quick, because not only did he have a phenomenal game overall, but his leadership is leveling up as well. You know what I mean? Like that last play that passed to Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? I don't know if we would have seen that in the beginning of the season, let alone last season or the year before. And and that's just making the right read and the right play in a crucial moment. And he had the tendency in the past to want to be the hero and take the shot regardless of whether it was a good shot or not.
Right.
So kudos to him for that. Tonight's game I think is going to be a tough game for the simple facts of the matchups, right? You talked about Randall. I think he has to guard Ingram, not only because of who else do you put on Ingram, but who would Randall guard if it's not Ingram?
Right.
That it doesn't look funky. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you have to go with that matchup with Randall and Ingram for sure. Jones is I don't even want to call him an underrated defender because I think he gets the credit he deserves. He's a hell of a defender.
Yeah. Now, see, Jones may be guarding Randall, right? Ingram may not be guarding Randall. Jones may be guarding Randall, right? And Ingram might be guarding Barrett.
And that becomes, to me, a problem for RJ because of the height. RJ does have the strength, but he hasn't been on his A game as of late. So hopefully he could break out and kind of punish, I'll say, Ingram if Ingram is guarding him. But I think it's tough matchups for us all across the board, to be honest. Like everywhere you look at it. The good part is we're playing our best basketball, right?
Yeah.
We're on
Playing good ball.
not our longest stretch, or longest win streak, but we're probably playing better basketball during this win streak than the 8-game win streak. I am a little concerned with Mitchell Robinson for the simple fact that it's only his second game back. You know what I mean? He had a hell of a game last night as well, double-double. I think he was tremendous, but this is a different kind of center, and I'm sure he hasn't reached his peak performance level yet.
Right.
So
Right.
I got a little bit of concern with the matchups tonight, but I still think we squeak it out. I just don't think it's going to be any type of a blowout. I think it's going to be a tough game the whole night.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either. I mean, you got Brandon Ingram, he's putting up 23 points a game. You got CJ McCollum, who's putting up, 21 points per game. You know what I mean? These guys can score the basketball, you know what I mean? And they got guys that can create their own shot in Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. You know what I'm saying?
They got some dogs on defensive end.
And they got some guys that can defend. So this is going to be a battle. Then you got Jonas Valanciunas, who's averaging 14.4 points per game and almost 10 rebounds. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a battle for the Knicks right here tonight. You know what I mean? I think they pull it out, but it's going to be a dogfight.
And don't be surprised if Jones is on Brunson, and they do that to try to give Brunson some struggles, and then put CJ on Barrett.
But see, I think they might
say make Barrett beat you.
I think because that's the reason why they picked up a Josh Richardson. They probably put Josh Richardson on Brunson. Right? They acquired him over the trade deadline from the San Antonio Spurs. Right? So they may put him on Brunson. Now you can put Herbert Jones on Randall's. You got two defenders.
True that.
You got defenders on two of the Knicks' top players.
Yeah, I would still give Brunson the advantage though. I think Brunson could cook Richardson more than he would cook Jones. And that's just because of Brunson's style of play. But I think that is a good point, because now you got a good defender on Randall, good defender on Brunson, and your scorers, Ingram and McCollum, get lighter loads on the defensive end, which gives them more energy on the offensive.
And you know what's more annoying too, Tony, is that coming off the bench for the Pelicans, you got Alvarado, you got Trey Murphy. So now you got another point guard that could still defend, and you got a wing. So it's gonna be a tough game, man. Like I like the Pelicans lineup, man. They're a good team. If Zion was healthy, you might be talking about possibly a number 1 seed for them. Possibly.
Number 1 seed?
I mean, before they were up there. before.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh, I
going
won't
with
say
I'm
number
not going
one.
with
They'll
number
be a
one
they
seed.
they could be a top 4 team if
Okay,
Zion was healthy.
okay, maybe possibly so. I don't know about the number one seed in the West, but you know what I
You know what
mean.
it is, Sim? I'm just big on guys like Alvarado, man. Those
I
dudes
dig
right
it. I
there.
get it. I get it. I
Like I said, there's gonna be
understand. I don't know if
listen. There's
that
gonna
means
be
they're number one seed, but
yeah.
in the
I know.
West, you know,
Hey, hey, son, there's gonna be one day he gonna be a Nick. I'm gonna call it now. He gonna be a Nick one day.
we'll see. We'll see. I know that girl got your head all in the clouds and whatnot. I dig it. I get it.
Man, see,
Got you
Tony, you see
saying
how you do
crazy
me,
stuff.
son?
Got you saying crazy stuff. It used to be just Isaiah saying crazy stuff. Now she got you saying crazy stuff because she got your head in the clouds.
Man, she got my head in these books, man.
Yeah. Oh, talking about the bench.
Look, he got a bookmark and everything.
You know what I mean?
Actually, she got a book event tonight. I gotta help her with. So,
Because she's holding his feet to the fire. What page you on? Did you really read it?
So all right, so you want to hear something funny about this one? So me and her both reading at the same time. So I'm trying to read more ahead of her, so I can quiz her, or is she quizzing me?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get I'm trying to get what you call it. You know what I mean?
Trying to speed read so you can
I
be.
ain't speed.
She's still quizzing you chapters you already read, and you like, Anyway, the bench units for the Knicks quickly. Josh Hart, Obi Toppin. I need to fix this. I don't know why I got that Q Toppin. It's not Q Toppin. Emmanuel quickly, Josh Hart, Obi Toppin, and Isaiah Hartenstein off the bench for the Knicks. Of course, Jericho Sims is no longer in the rotation with Mitchell Robinson being back. And for the New Orleans Pelicans, you got Alvarado, Trey Murphy, Marshall, and you got Larry Nance Jr. So, there's a guy there who can, athletic guy coming off the bench in Larry Nance Jr. The Knicks, their bench unit this season obviously is changing, but, with the addition of Josh Hart, but the Knicks bench unit, 29.7 points per game, 16 rebounds, 6.4 assists, 2.4 steals, 1.5 blocks, 4.5 turnovers per game. They shoot 44.5% from the field, 33.7% from three, and 78.7% from the free throw line. The Pelicans, their bench average is 34 points per game. That's pretty good. All right, they can score the ball. 16 rebounds, 9.5 assists, 3.6 steals, 1.7 turnovers, 5.5 blocks, 5.6 blocks. They shoot 45.9% from the field, 33.5% from three, and 75.2% from the free throw line. What are your biggest concerns about the bench?
For me, it's Obi Toppin. To be honest with you, Sam. Yesterday was one of those games where it's like, I say this. I wish the Knicks would have traded him during the break so that we could have got somebody like a defensive-minded wing or something like that, because yesterday it was just bad, man. And just right now, I think if you look at our projected second unit, you have Josh Hart, quickly, R.J. Barrett, Isaiah Hartenstein. Truthfully, I think Obi's the weak point in that. To be honest with you, I think he's the weak spot in that unit with his not too good. He hits the corner threes occasionally, and he could get hot from there. But I mean, other than that, I don't think he really provides too much. He doesn't really crash the boards too hard. And I don't know. It's just right now, just Obi's the weak spot in that second unit for me. Just with the equation of Josh Hart. Again, no bench is perfect. That's why they're on the bench, because they're not. They have more imperfections than starting caliber players. That's the glaring spot for me. I think Isaiah Hartenstein's playing a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last night that right now, Obi is basically there to spell Julius Randle, right? That's kind of what it is right now with Obi. He's there to spell Julius Randle. Luckily, Julius Randle is playing at a super high level. You know, so you're not worried about the power forward spot because you know you got Randall playing at such a high level. The thing is, you know, he's only getting 11 minutes per game. So Randall is basically, 11, 12 minutes. So you know Randall's always going to be playing high 30s, low 40s. You know what I mean?
See,
Because
and
you
that's
really,
the issue, Sim.
you know,
Like, if Obi was more productive, man, if he could bump that to 15, I mean, you're giving Randall 30 minutes. That's good. You know what I mean? And you give him energy and you save him up because we're going to make the playoffs. I'm going to say it right now. I think we're going to definitely make the playoffs. You just don't want these guys to be burnt out going into the playoffs because you're most likely going to be facing either the Cavs or the Sixers or possibly the Bucks. You're going to be facing one of those teams. So you don't want to be just overkilling yourself just to get a spot so that you
yeah.
avoid a
Well,
play-in just to get burnt out
right.
by one of those teams. And
I
I'm
mean,
not,
I mean, but
it just
look,
Obi got to step up a little bit more.
yeah. I mean, but look, the thing is, right now, Obi is who he is, and this is what we got. You know what I mean? Nothing the Knicks can really do about it right now. You know what I'm saying? Besides play him and what you get from him, you get. Listen, he's had stretches where he's played well. Hopefully, he hits one of those stretches again. You know what I mean?
I mean,
And go ahead, Tony.
no, I just agree. I agree with you. I think Obi just needs to be productive in whatever minutes he gets, and I disagree with you, Isaiah, that if he's more productive, his minutes will increase because he's had productive games where
That's
the
true.
rotation is the rotation, the time is you know what I mean? When it's time to put Randall back in, it's time. That is what it is. But for the second unit, we're gonna need the heart effect. We're gonna need effort plays throughout the second unit. Quickly, Hart. We know Hart is gonna bring that. Top and I Heart as well. We're gonna need diving for loose balls, second chance opportunities. You know what I mean? We're gonna need all that to beat their second unit in particular. Um, and I think hopefully Hart, could rub off on that second unit, and they kind of become the blue collar guys. You know what I mean? The dirty work guys, because I think that's how you beat this second unit. It's gonna be about effort more than just X's and O's.
Yeah, yeah. Effort more. I mean, listen. When you look at our second unit, I mean, with Quickly and iHeart, we have two guys that can really get down and dirty defensively. So, we should hopefully, they can get down and dirty defensively. Josh Hart gives you that hustle. He can obviously rebound the basketball. Well, hopefully he's able to. I mean, they score 34 points a game. The Pelicans. I mean, it's not the tops in the league, but it's pretty high. I mean, when I look at the bench, I don't know. I guess the Knicks bench. I don't know, Tony. Which bench wins? Which bench has the upper hand?
I
Or are
I
they
think
even?
it's even because they actually might have the advantage, to be honest, because our defenders in the second unit, like you mentioned, Quickly and Hart, they're not going to be guarding the guys that I believe to be the offensive threats in their second unit. You know what I mean? So Murray, I don't think Hart will be on Murray. Maybe he is, but Quickly, you know what I mean? And then the other guy is like probably more Larry Nance. I'm not familiar with the Marshall guy. I don't think Alvarado's an offensive threat. I think he's more of a defensive threat. You know what I mean? So if he's neutralizing Quick and then Hart is guarding Murray, I think Murray has the advantage just because of his height, his size. So I think they have the advantage, but for us to get the advantage, I think it's really going to have to be like effort plays. You know what I mean?
Okay.
50-50 plays because their offensive threats are bigger than
Right.
our defensive
Right.
threats.
So Alvarado's averaging 9 points per game, coming off the bench. Larry Nance Jr. is averaging 7.9 points per game coming off the bench. Murphy is averaging, Trey Murphy the third is averaging 12.9 points per game coming off the bench.
I wanted Trey Murphy so bad during that draft.
Right. So, he may be. Now, let's not forget also that Zion is out, right? So that raises somebody from the bench to the starting lineup. Najee Marshall's averaging 9.6 points per game. I mean, you got 3 guys that are almost in double digits.
And to Isaiah's point, I think the onus is really on top and defensively, right? Because who's he going to guard?
Most likely Trey Murphy or Lance.
Probably Lance, right? I guess, Najee Marshall might be the guy that you're worried about at almost 13 points per game, is, as far as scoring.
Ain't that the guy that killed Randall in Denver?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Najee Marshall, he's 6'7", 220 pounds. You know what I mean? So you're probably talking about Josh Hart guarding him, or either Josh Hart or R.J. Barrett guarding him. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that looks. That's it. I don't know who has the upper hand, as far as the benches are concerned. But when I do go back, and when you go back and you look at the starting lineups, you figure, I guess Herbert Jones probably would have been coming off the bench, or maybe Josh Richardson coming off the bench.
I think Josh Richardson.
Probably Josh Richardson coming off the bench, right?
He's the new acquired too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's the new acquired. So probably Josh Richardson would have been coming off the bench. Anyway, that's the bench units, ladies and gentlemen. Both bench units will definitely be instrumental, no doubt about it. And when it comes down to the end of the game, I don't want to say but most likely Josh Hart is going to be out there instead of either Grimes or R.J. Barrett. Last night, Quickly and Josh Hart finished the game. Grimes and Barrett were both on the bench. We'll see how that works out for the New Orleans Pelicans. If they got some bench guys that finished the game similar to the Knicks.
Hey Sim, because I don't got that much time left. I want to say this, Sim. Yeah, and you talked about it earlier this year. You talked about it during the summer.
Uh-huh.
There's always going to be a player each year on the Knicks that the team everybody hates. And Mr. Rowan, it is your turn this season.
Well, I ain't going to say everybody hates him. People want to see more from him. There's some people that are a little tired of him. Well, I don't want to say tired of him, expect a little bit more from him, but.
Could you see his, I don't know if you could see the bench. Could you see how he was acting when he was on the bench?
Man, let's not start doing that.
No.
Let's not start doing that. I
No.
seen the post on the Twitter, where, what I mean, he was, everybody was standing up and he was sitting down. I don't even want to start doing that.
No, so the only reason why I said that because I remember when I went to the game against the Lakers, and I seen how he was acting when he wasn't on the floor. And I would say here's the difference, right, with people, and I'm going to defend RJ with this. He wants to play.
Of course
he wants to play. He wants to play bad, and he wants to win. And as a guy that, we've seen him hit big shots when we needed it most. I think he's mad about that. I think he's mad because he knows that he can do some great stuff late in games, and he's just a competitive spirit. And listen, I said it before, Sam. Out of all the players that's happened to, I think he'll be fine the most. He's his hardest critic, and he knows what he has to improve on. And right now, he's in the slump. It happens to every player. Every player. Literally, Randall went through hell last year, and that's not. Yeah. And RJ's he's not going through what Randall had to go through.
Well, Randall, some of it was self-induced with Randall, though.
Yeah, some of it was self-induced. It's just, with RJ, man, he'll be fine. And you know what? I'll say this about Thibs. Thibs is fair. When he feels like RJ needs to play the fourth quarter, he'll play the fourth quarter.
Right.
I know people. I know Sim. That's the big talk of the town right now. RJ and Lord of Sim. If I hear body language with us, we talk about body language every year. I think with a Knicks player.
People sometimes people act like these guys aren't human. for the most part, RJ's gonna have good body language. Every player is gonna have their time where they're like, damn, either they don't feel good about themselves, they're not happy with, something that's going on, and they're like, man, I'm gonna sit this cheer section out.
Yeah, no,
it happens. You know what I'm saying? You could be thinking about something. It happens.
Sam,
You know what I mean? It happens.
I remember when I played football, and I vividly remember I was doing something crazy, and the coach didn't let me play
Yeah.
like the whole game, and I cried.
Let me stop for a second because Josh says, we mentioned it last year with Randall, not sure why it's different now. That deserves commentary just like everything else. My thing is, I didn't think Randall's deserved commentary. And I was defending Randall for it. And I'm defending RJ. When someone's going through a hard time, it's going to be like that. It's basketball. It happens all the time. It doesn't mean that they don't want to be on the team. It doesn't mean that, they don't like their teammates and all that kind of stuff. They're human beings.
Yep.
No, for sure.
I mean,
Hey,
what was you going to say? You was about to say something, Tony.
No, I was agreeing with you, and this, you do have a super chat. I don't know if you saw it, but you might want to get to that because that dude is going crazy in the chat.
Tony, we haven't had a good troll in a while, man.
Somebody said that's Uncle Fulio's burner account. I don't know.
Oh man.
Who? The 77 said we will miss the playoffs because our offense is not good. Okay.
Sam, you know what's crazy?
Okay, the 77. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't think we're going to miss the playoffs. I think we'll be in the playoffs.
Sam, somebody already debunked it. Someone said in the comments, we're the sixth best offense in the league. So, I mean, it's a good show. Hey, so I got to head out, y'all. Got to help my girl with this book event.
All right. Go do your thing, man.
And tell her she's doing a great job.
Yeah.
From MBK.
No doubt. Let her know she's doing a great job. You needed some training. She's giving it to you.
We'll talk to you guys later, man.
All right, peace. Yeah, man. People are bugging me out. I mean, I think RJ every player deserves criticism. They get criticism. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna get criticized, this and that, but like D. Coolish said, RJ will be okay. I agree. I think RJ will be okay.
Honestly, I'm hoping he has a real bounce back game tonight. Because don't be surprised if, not saying Randall will have a bad game, but don't be surprised if it's not the greatest of games considering the performance last night, which was super surprising, and he's even talked about it. He usually doesn't play well right after the All-Star game, that first game back. So, you know what I mean? Let's see if he can continue it or if it kind of balances out or flip-flops, because we needed that from him last night. But I think RJ is I mean, he's due for a good game. And I do want to credit his defense last night. His defense was very good last night. He was involved and assertive, even though his offense wasn't, at its peak.
Yeah. Uncle Fulio says, Sim, you gave the commentary on Randall last year. You just gave some on RJ. I agree with you. Calm down. We're on the same page. When I'm coming off like that, what you said to me represented a whole bunch of people. So it wasn't just at you. So I'm not going to calm down on it. It was at everybody. Because, he's a human being. They're both human beings. They're going to go through some stuff. People, but, I'm looking all over Twitter and people are, oh, RJ's not doing this. He's got his shoulders snubbed. He's not sitting with the team. I'm like, why are we looking at that like that? You know what I mean? You can find that across the league in every single game. Every single game. You know what I mean? Let RJ be. I think he's going to be all right. Let him be who he's going to become. Do I think he needs to play better? Yes. Do I want him to play better defensively? Yes. Does he deserve criticism? Yes. But when we start to nitpick at all those little things and then start, now he's bad for the team. Now we got to trade him. Got it bad. He's hurting the team. bad in the locker room. Like, that's what that stuff is pointing to. When you start pointing at he's not sitting with the team, not standing up, cheering, that starts to point to is the guy at cancer and stuff like that. And I don't think he is. I think he's just going through it right now, and he's trying to figure out how to get through it because he's never been through this. He's never been to this point in his career. You know what I mean? He's been the baby on the team, and he's no longer the baby on the team. He's growing out of that. And he gotta figure out how do I deal with it.
And he got some good guys to talk to about it too.
Yeah. I mean, Randall is one that they need to be having some conversations. You know what I mean? They need to be having some conversations about it. So, but anyway, Tony, your thoughts on who wins tonight? Because I'm gonna get up out of here. I got practice at 5:00.
I think we win. I think we win a tight one. I'm gonna say 115, 109.
Yeah, okay. I can be with that. And I see Uncle Julio said, no one said RJ was a cancer. I didn't say that you or anyone else said that he was a cancer. What I'm saying is when you start to point to these little things, that's what it alludes to. So you've got to listen to what I'm saying. I didn't put any words in your mouth or anyone else's mouth. I said when you start to point to these things, that's what it alludes to. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here. I got practice at 5:00, so I gotta finish up a little bit of this scouting report that I'm doing so we can present it in practice. Then I got to get to practice. So I'm going to head up out of here. A couple people calling in. I'm going to have to get to you tonight on the post-game show. I apologize that I wasn't able to get to you today. But I got to roll. I will catch you tonight on the post-game show, ladies and gentlemen, probably about 10:15 or so. And I'll get to all your calls, so make sure you call in so I can get to some calls because it's been a couple of days. It's been a while since I've been able to get to any calls. You know what I mean? So I appreciate your time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.